Hello guys, Ashley here, also with the HD Display Message for the video, and today I have decided to do my first rant on 90210, and my first rant today will be about why I don't like Kelly and Dylan together as a relationship, and why I don't understand why the writers tried to con people into thinking that this was a beautiful love story. I know I actually went through this yesterday, but I was up all night last night because, well, not last night, but the reason why I didn't do any videos on Saturday was because on Friday night I was up all night because AJ Lee returned. So I was just really full of adrenaline. I just really couldn't sleep. So today I decided to upload it. Okay, so my thoughts on Kelly and Dylan. Me personally, I thought in season 3 they definitely had chemistry. You definitely felt the tension, and I feel like I feel like sooner or later the writers were going to capitalize on Kelly's crush on Dylan. That she always had a crush on him, and that even though he was never checking for her, she just always wanted him. And I feel like it was a good idea. I feel like when Brenda went to Paris and her and Dylan both emotionally cheated on each other, I feel like it was definitely time. If they're doing that, it is definitely time that they move on from the relationship. The thing about Dylan was that at least Brenda was honest about the guy that she was with. You weren't honest at all. Like she said, you made it seem like it was just some other girl that you were with. You were falling in love with my best friend. Like what? I feel like the confessional scene, just before I get into Kelly and Dylan, I actually have a separate rant video I'm going to do about the love triangle. And some of y'all fans of 90210 are not going to like what I have to say with the love triangle. Don't get me wrong, the love triangle is iconic because a lot of love triangles are iconic, and this one definitely is iconic because it definitely made people choose between Dylan and Brenda or Dylan and Kelly. Like, there definitely was like a push and pull on who Dylan deserves to be with. I just feel like after season 3, it really didn't go anywhere in season 4. Not that much. I will get into all that when I talk about it in the separate love triangle video. But what I would say about the confessional scene when they did tell Brenda is that I feel like that confessional scene was the least empathy confessional scene I've ever heard. Like, the fact that him and Kelly was just, the fact that it was like, do you want to know who I was with? I was with Kelly. Like, the fact that he just kind of said it harshly, and the fact that he kind of just felt no sympathy or no empathy about hurting Brenda, I just felt like, that's not the Dylan that I know. And you got Kelly trying to play victim and things like that. She really didn't take any accountability. I didn't hear her and Dylan once in that confessional say sorry or anything at all. I respect them for being honest. I respect them. Even if they didn't say anything the first time around, I feel like saying something is better than saying nothing. I respect them for saying something. To me, it just seemed like they weren't really apologetic about it. It just seemed like they were like, okay, we gotta tell her because we just want to be together. That's kind of what the vibe it gave off to me and everything. As for Kelly and Dylan, though, back to them. I feel like in season 3 they definitely had chemistry, and I was loving it. I love the fact that they were hanging out, and the writers were kind of giving it like a slow burn feel. Like, is this a friendship or is this giving they're about to get ready to hook up? Because like they're swimming together, like they're doing things that friends really shouldn't be doing. Like, they're swimming together and she's wrapping her arms and legs around his waist, and they're in the pool and things like that. They're sitting on a beach together, just like things like that. And like, it was definitely a good slow burn, and like they definitely had chemistry. To me, where I stopped caring about the relationship was after Brenda found out, because to me, it really just seemed like the writers didn't know what to do with it. Like, they didn't know what to do with it. So they kind of just made it toxic. Like, they didn't know what to do with it. There are a lot of people who say that they had more understanding with each other because they both know what it's like to have alcoholic parents. First of all, Dylan's dad wasn't alcoholic. Dylan's dad was a workaholic. He raised Dylan, but him and Dylan weren't close. That's kind of why Dylan kind of had daddy issues and mommy issues. Why do you think he was always around Brenda's family because Brenda's parents were very emotionally involved with Dylan. They kind of took care of him, really. Like, he was practically living there, really. Like, even though he had his own house, like, he was always at Brenda's house, enjoying the family stuff. They made him feel welcome, like it was a family, and he didn't get that same treatment with his own family. So yeah, like, I feel like the writers didn't know what to do with it, and like I said, back to people saying they have more of a stronger bond. So what? So because Kelly knows what it's like to have an alcoholic mom, she just knows Dylan better. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. I cannot think of one conversation her and Dylan ever had that was emotionally depth, that was, I don't know, like, I just really felt like if the writers were going to keep Dylan and Kelly together, they should have just made it a season 3 thing and called it a day. Like, because in season 4, their relationship got nothing. Their relationship in season 4 got really, like, that's when it got toxic. In season 3, I felt like they didn't know what to do with that after, but in season 4 is when I was like, oh my god, they are toxic now. Kelly, honestly, y'all, the Kelly Taylor fans, y'all gonna be mad. I do not like Kelly. Like, I really tried to like her the whole time I watched the show. Like, I didn't watch all 10 seasons, obviously. I'm not going to do that. But I still could have my opinion about her and Dylan and how that was handled in those other seasons. I just felt like with Kelly, because I didn't watch the other half, like, I don't know if she ever got better towards the second half of the show, like her in adult years. But, like, when I watched even when I watched season 5, like, her actions in season 5 was just ridiculous. You were all about Brandon, then Dylan pops back up, and you all about Dylan, and then you even accept Brandon's wedding proposal, but yet you still want Dylan? Where the fuck would you do that at, Kelly? Like, what? And then she has the fucking audacity to choose herself. Not saying that's bad, but you keep both of these guys on the hook, making them think they're going to choose either one or the other, and then you just selfishly just like, because I can't have you both, I'm choosing myself. Basically, you wanted your cake and you wanted to eat it too, and because you can't have them both, you're going to have nobody. Only for her to be with somebody else anyway in season 6 and almost get engaged to that guy. Like, oh my god, her character is so male-centered, but people will not admit that. Her character is so male-centered. Most of her storylines come from the guys that she's dating, period, point blank. And if she's going to end up with anyone, it should have been her and Brandon. I thought her and Brandon were cute. They were emotionally mature together, and she seemed safe with him. Her and Dylan, that's the thing. Her and Dylan don't know how to talk to each other. Her and Dylan don't have any emotional connection. All of it is just, I feel like all it is for her and Dylan is tension. Like, everything is all about in the moment. It's like, it's excitement for them. It's not anything that's long term. It's just in the moment. All that stuff in season 3 was just in the moment, because Dylan was never checking for her. Like, it's one thing if you would have been like, okay, he always had a thing for Kelly, but then when Brenda came up to the scene, he started to really like Brenda. Like, it would be different. So I don't understand people who try to compare their love story to Lathan, because it's like, no, he was never checking for Kelly. Kelly had a long crush on him and felt like she was entitled to have him because she liked him first. It's like, girl, he ain't your property. Brenda had the encouragement to ask him out. You didn't. That's not my problem. And you're not gonna make Brenda feel bad by. I'm not sure if she ever even told Brenda. Yes, she did. She did. Y'all, I'm sorry if I'm forgetting things from the show. Like, I watched it. Where did I watch it? I was watching it. I finished the show like around May time, so I mean, we talk about September, and like I said, I don't go back and watch episodes. It was just for that point in time. You feel me? Like, I watched it on Paramount Plus, and I had it on my phone. And, like, even if I do go back and watch, it's just to watch Dylan and Brenda moments. Like, to be honest with y'all, that's the only thing I go back and watch it for. Like, majority of the storylines are good. Like I said, they have their important storylines, but majority of the time I go back and watch, it's just for Dylan and Brenda. Like, to be honest with y'all, that's really what I mostly go back and watch it for. I'm not gonna hold y'all. But I'm pretty sure she did tell Brenda, but again, you cannot make your friends feel bad for dating a guy that you have no emotional attachment to. You just like him. Like, I feel like you shouldn't try to pretty much tell her like he's off limits because I like him. Have you ever made your move? Have you ever told a guy you like him? Okay, then yes. If to me he's on limits. He's not off limits. He's free for anyone who wants to come at him. Dylan was always checking for Brenda. He was never checking for Kelly until season 3. So yes, I said it. I feel like him and Kelly in season 4, it just got really bad. Kelly was a pick me the entire time when it came to Dylan. The fact that this bitch told Brenda, who's supposed to be her bitch, supposed to be her best friend, had the fact to tell Brenda that I made a pass at him, but obviously he didn't want me. Then everyone at the phone party gets mad for Brenda's reaction. Are you fucking kidding me? This bitch just told me she's trying to make a pass at my boyfriend, a guy who I love. And y'all calling me ridiculous? And then they got the nerve to tell her ever since you fell for Dylan, you haven't been the same person. Why? Because y'all mad and jealous because I got somebody who loved me? Kelly, you're just mad. Kelly was never Brenda's friend. She was friends with Brenda because she wanted to tell bitches who I'm friends with you so you don't try to shed my light. That kind of bitch that she is. She's conceited. She's self-involved. I can't think of one single moment where Brenda's the queen. I can't think of one single moment where Kelly was ever there for anybody. She was self-conceited. She hated when things was not about her. She was jealous of every single female who even got an inch of attention. Every single one. The only person who I think she wasn't jealous of was Donna. Because like I said, Donna, she was sweet. Donna was sweet, beautiful, intelligent. But you could really tell that writers did not know what to kind of do with Donna. She kind of just felt like she was there, like her too. I felt like she was just always dating. She wasn't as male-centered as Kelly because she had her own goals and things that she wanted to do. But again, they kind of just, I think she was a hopeless romantic. So I can accept that from Donna. She's looking for her Prince Charming, which is not bad. Nothing bad looking for the guy who's going to take care of you. I did ship her and David. I thought they were cute. But to me, I feel like there really was no love story there between her and David. They were kind of just the high school couple that was kind of together on and off. But I'm not mad that they were engaged at the end of the show. And a lot of people thought that it was stupid that they were engaged. Me personally, not so much because Donna was always his one. Even though he did cheat, even though he did start having a drug problem, a lot of that is inherited from their mother, really. It's crazy that Kelly never had a drinking problem or any of that stuff, knowing that it runs in her family blood. Like, it's weird to me that they gave that storyline to her brother, but not to Kelly. But I thought David was he was an okay character. Like, I liked his drug addicted storyline. I don't remember a single thing for his relationship with Valerie. I don't remember any of that. But I like Donna. I think the only person she was not jealous of was Donna. But she was jealous of Brenda. She was jealous of Valerie. She was so jealous of them because they were close to Dylan and because they were themselves. She saw them as competition, even though that they didn't even do anything to make it a competition. Kelly was so insecure and she took her insecurities out on other people. That's why I don't like her, because she took her insecurities out on other people. The fact that this bitch is either one had the audacity to pick the same dress that Brenda wanted and just talk about you take it off because I want to be the spring fling queen. It's like you're so jealous and insecure. The fact that you got to pick the same dress that I picked after you said you didn't want it, after you said it was ugly, now you want the dress. I will give it that. For the show to be in the 90s and to have this fashion down pat, very iconic. The fashion in 90210 was very good. I will give them that. But sorry I keep getting distracted. It's just I just keep thinking about 90210 and other things I want to say. But let's get back to season 4 with her and Dylan. That way I can talk about stuff in other seasons. Season 4 is when it got really bad with them. Season 4 is when I realized that their relationship was all sizzle and no steak. That they really don't have no emotional connection. All of it is just excitement, toxic, and Kelly's a pick-me, and Dylan is still checking for Brenda. He's still emotionally attached to Brenda. Every time Brenda needs him, he cancels whatever it is for Kelly to be with Brenda. It's very obvious that Dylan really didn't want to be with Kelly for real. He really wanted to be with Brenda. The writers just didn't know how to put them back together. He's taking Brenda on a fishing trip. He's telling Brenda that he loved her more than he's ever loved anyone. Maybe he felt like it just got too intense for them. Like, getting with him and Brenda were always having really like really deep emotional conversations that him and Kelly never had. The fact that I don't think him and Kelly were together when they kissed together, and I think the writers alluded to them sleeping together in Shannon Doherty's last episode. I don't think he was with Kelly. And that's to the fact that Kelly told him that they should see other people, and then gets mad when Dylan and Brenda are hanging out again. Gets mad about the fact that he's about to move on back to Brenda. What is it? I'm like, what is it to you? You about to get ready to date a whole ass guy named John, a guy you were giving your attention to because what? You're bored. That's what I'm telling you. She looks for the excitement. Nothing is ever long term with Kelly. Everything is the excitement. Whenever it catches her attention, she goes for it. If another guy gets her attention, she goes for it. This guy John, I don't even know what his personality was or what did he do. All I know is that all of a sudden she wanted him. You had to break the ship off with Dylan over infatuation. That's really what it was, infatuation. And then they get back together, and then they break up again. When she said, you know what, I think this ran its course. And Dylan, he said, you know what, you're right. And then they break up. And then in season 5, she's with Brandon. She's happy with Brandon. Her and Brandon are a great match, in my opinion. And the writers kind of alluded to that in season 4 because she was with John, and then she was with Brandon. And then she got back together with Dylan, and then her and Dylan broke up again. Stupid. Anyway, and then Dylan comes back, and she's all about Dylan, even though that makes absolutely no sense. And then as the seasons go on and on, her and Dylan have this draining, uninteresting back and forth, will they, won't they, that I just don't care for. I don't understand why people like them together so much. The relationship is literally all sizzle, no steak. Literally. The reason why the writers made them in-game is because they had no other options for Dylan. No other options. They were teasing him and Valerie. That didn't go anywhere. Me personally, I feel like that wouldn't even have been a good match because she was kind of enabling Dylan's bad behavior in season 5. Like the drinking got out of the drinking. He had to go to rehab and things like that. Like it was really getting out of control for him. And me personally, I just feel like they just didn't have any other options for Dylan. Like it really just felt like in the other seasons he was just a love interest. Like Luke Perry in the 90s, he was one fine motherfucker. Luke Perry was so fine. Just had to say that. I wouldn't be me if I didn't say he was fine. Y'all know me by now. Everything about him, the way he talked, his hair, his eyes, oh my god, everything about him was just like, and like me personally, I really do love Dylan as a character. I think he's very layered. I feel like with Dylan towards the end of the show, they did not know what to do with him. It just felt like he was a love interest for Kelly. Like all of his character development just kind of went out the window once he started interacting with Kelly again. The last thing I can remember Dylan doing, because I do know Luke Perry did leave. I think he left. I don't think he was in season 7, but I do think he was in season 7, 8, 9, and 10. But I don't think he was in season 7. I think he said he left because he just got really bored with the show. In season 6, in my opinion, he should end up with the girl Tony. Again, when Kelly chose herself and she moved on, Dylan went back to college. He met a girl Tony in his class. They started talking. They started vibing. They fell in love. And they got married. But you know what the writers did? They decided, I'm assuming because it was fan backlash, people wanted people wanted Dylan and Kelly to be a in-game so bad that they chose to kill this girl off in one of the most tragic TV show deaths that I think is not talked about. Her car accident. I believe Brenda was the one who came to Dylan and said that she was in a car accident, and that is one of Luke Perry's best acting scenes when he says, "Look what they did to her. Look what they did," and him holding her body, him like crying in the rain. Like everything about that scene was so intense. And like the next episode, it was her funeral, and like I can't remember the song they were playing in the house, but him walking around and the music playing, and him getting the cat that he bought for her, and him holding the cat and crying, like that sucked. Like I couldn't believe they did that to Dylan. Like I couldn't believe that. I personally feel like he shouldn't end up with her because again, he did seem stressed out. Him and the girl definitely did have chemistry, and to me, I feel like he should end up with her, in my opinion. Like, if it's not Brenda, then make it be Tony. Because I would rather see him with anyone other than Kelly. I did not care about that. I feel like the people who were watching it around the 90s probably did, which I understand, that's your prerogative. You were rooting for them, I get it. But hindsight, when I go back and watch it, when I listen to things on TikTok or when I'm on Reddit, things like that, a lot of people don't like Kelly and Dylan. A lot of them felt like it was a waste of time, and I agree. Yet, they had a chemistry in season 3, but after that, the chemistry really died down. Like, they kind of remind me of Delana a little bit. Like, they're not as toxic as Elena, but they are toxic to me. Like, I feel like her and Dylan were very, very uncompatible. They had the same fights over and over again. They never knew how to talk to each other. I feel like the reason why they remind me so much of Delana is because Delana relied a lot on their love story, and when the love story was over, the writers did not know what to do with the relationship. Just like Kelly and Dylan. Once the story was over, the writers did not know what to do with them as a couple, and it showed. She was constantly jealous of Brenda. Brenda even asked her, "You have Dylan, so why are you jealous of me?" She talked about because deep down, you will always be the best love in his life, and she can't compete with that. Well, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, I don't know what you want me to say. I don't know what you want to hear. Like, you have him. You were a pick-me for him. You wanted to be chosen by him, and now that you have him, you don't even know how to fucking act. Like, girl, sit down somewhere. That's what I feel like. I feel like the writers did not know what to do with her and did not know what to do with Dylan and Kelly. They just didn't know what to do with them, and it showed. So that's my opinion. I think Dylan and Kelly were a waste of time. I feel like for them to be in game was a huge cop-out. Me personally, I think Dylan and Brenda were the way more superior couple in my opinion, and they definitely should have been in game. I got a video on them too, and why I am a Dylan and Brenda shipper. But me personally, I'm just not a Dylan and Kelly shipper. I don't see the hype. The way that one girl, Peyton, be setting them on her YouTube channel, y'all know who I'm talking about. That girl Peyton who loves them. I don't see what she's seeing. I'm gonna tell you what I'm not seeing. I don't see it. She's talking about their twin flame, and it's like I don't care about that astrology and what all that stuff is. I understand if you feel like they're twin flame. I know that's new stuff. I don't want to say I don't care about it, because if she's reading about the stuff, then obviously that's what when she thinks of certain couples, she thinks of them. I get that. But me personally, they just seemed extremely incompatible to me. Like, they were really very uncompatible. Like, not compatible at all. Just very uncompatible. And, like, it didn't even matter whether they were teenagers or adults. They never got it right. They never got it right. How is it that they got it right with other people, but they couldn't get it right with each other? Just a fruit for thought. But anyone who's willing to rebuttal, anyone who's willing to convince me why they were a good couple, I'm all ears. Leave it down in the comments. Me personally, I am not a Dylan and Kelly shipper. I never have, never been. I thought they were really cute in season 3, and that's when I saw all the chemistry and all the tension. That's when they had a lot of potential. But to me, after all the stuff with Brenda, the writers did not know what to do with them. So, period, point blank, that's why I leave it, and have a good one, y'all. Have a good day. Peace.